Bonjour et bienvenue, French 1 students. Hello and welcome. My name is Mrs. Sewell, and this is your French 1 course overview. So we're just going to read through this document together, and then at the end of the assignment, you are going to have a few questions to answer to get credit for this assignment. And as always, if you have any questions, please contact me. So, I already said that my name is Mrs. Hool, and the way you can remember is it rhymes with pool. I also teach middle school English and social studies here at Icon. If you have any questions or concerns about this course, please contact me. And here's my schedule and contact information. I am normally available every day, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Mountain Time. So keep Mountain Time in mind in case you live in North Idaho. I have a live office for help or questions that you can pop into on Mondays and Wednesdays, 1 to 2 p.m. Mountain Time. And there is a link to enter there. Also, if you go to the Icon school calendar, there are links at those times to enter also. And the live office is not a formal class, it's just a time for you to get help as needed. And if you come, you can either type in instant messages and I can talk, or you can talk to me. It's your choice. There is my email address and my phone numbers. Okay, my first one is my cell phone that I'm normally available at, but the second one is my home phone, and my cell phone does not work at home. So if you try them both, I should be reachable, and if not, that just means that I am on the phone with another student. So please leave a message so that I can get back to you. So what is French 1 about? In French 1, students begin to develop competence in 4 basic skill areas: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. While developing communicative competence in French, students gain and expand their knowledge of Francophone countries and cultures. By the end of French 1, students will communicate minimally by using short sentences, learn words and phrases, and simple questions and commands when speaking and writing. You will understand some ideas and familiar details presented in clear, uncomplicated speech when listening, and you will understand short texts enhanced by visual clues when reading. And although you cannot expect to become fluent in French after just 1 or 2 years of taking it, you will learn basic vocabulary and phrases to help you if you decide to travel. It's like learning language as a baby. We don't expect 2-year-olds to completely be able to express themselves and understand what adults are saying. Also, since French is the next most used language internationally after English, you will be able to understand much of what is going on in the world. For example, if you watch the Olympics, you'll notice that they have announcements in both English and in French. And English and French are both used in the business world and many other ways internationally. Okay, additional resources that you'll need. Of course, to complete this course, you will need internet access. Access to an encyclopedia, which can be online or hard copy. To search for an encyclopedia online, all you have to do in Google is to enter the word online encyclopedia, and I'm sure many things will come up. So you would also need paper, a notebook, pencil or pen. It is good to take notes so that you have something to refer to when you study. Also, you will need to fill out study guides either by hand or digitally. And a printer is optional if you'd like to print out study guides. All right, let's go on. Unit overviews. At the beginning of each unit, you will find an overview, or in other words, what you will learn. Also included are study guides for each quiz and test in the unit, and some units have important links for readings or resources you'll need. You will need to answer 2 questions to get credit for completing each unit overview. Live class assignments. To help you with more difficult assignments and projects, I have scheduled a live class assignment throughout the units. As the time gets closer for each assignment, I will insert a link for you to either attend a live class session or to watch a recording of it and call me for credit. I will also email you at the beginning of each week when the live classes will be held. You will be required to complete one of these options for credit for the assignment. You won't be able to do these assignments in advance, obviously, because they're live, and then the recording, if you can't attend, is inserted right after the live class. You might also notice too that the live classes aren't necessarily when your due dates for the project are. And that is because I schedule the live class assignments to coincide with the due dates for most of the students. Not all of the students are working at the same pace or have started on the same date. So that's why it may not coincide with your due dates, which is why the videos are available afterwards. Okay, grading policy and weights. If you're concerned about any assignments, your grade, or your progress, please contact me as soon as possible. I expect you to read and study the lessons and complete all lessons, projects, quizzes, and tests in the order that they are due. Something new, a new policy for the 2015-16 school year. It is the school-wide policy of ICON to reassign blank essay answers within lessons, quizzes, and tests. Students submitting blank essays will have these questions reassigned, and repeated blank essays will result in assignments being locked and may result in parent-teacher conferences to resolve the issue. So in other words, this year, no blank essays are going to be accepted. I'll have to reassign them, and after several times, I'll have to contact the administration to possibly block the access to your assignments and talk with your parents. So you need to at least make some sort of an effort. And you know what, on quizzes and tests, if you don't know, like I said, make some sort of an effort to answer the question. Okay, as for plagiarism and online translators. Plagiarism, as you probably already know, is essentially copying someone else's work and making it your own. You will need to write any researched material in your own words. You must include citations anytime you research or look up information. Using a quote in your answer is not plagiarism if you use quotation marks, you keep it to 1 or 2 lines of text, and if you tell where the quote came from. If an assignment is plagiarized, it will be a 0, except for the first offense. You'll redo the assignment in that case. Parents will also be contacted, and possibly the ICON administration, depending on the situation. Here's a good point for foreign languages. Using an online translator is treated just the same as plagiarism. Looking up a word or two is fine, just like using a dictionary, but translating entire phrases, sentences, and passages is not okay. As for extra credit, it is available if you have no zeros and would like to improve your grade. Please contact me if you would like to consider extra credit. Okay, for grading weights. Lessons are 25% of your unit grade. You have 3 attempts to reach a score of at least 75% on those lessons. Excuse me. Projects are 25% of your grade. A blank project will be reassigned as a blank essay. And see info above. We already talked about reassigning blank work. Project same way. Quizzes are also 25% of your unit grade. You have only one opportunity to complete quizzes and tests, so make sure you are prepared before you open them. Tests are also 25% of your unit grade. You have only one opportunity to complete them and make sure you are prepared. Now quizzes, there's more quizzes, so each individual quiz will count for a little less. Tests, there's only one per unit, so that is 25% of your unit grade, your unit test. Now, about reassigning your quizzes and tests. Alternate versions of quizzes and tests will be assigned if a student wishes to redo them for a better grade. This will be done at my discretion and most likely at the end of a unit. So in other words, if you've been with me before, this is a little bit of change. I'm not going to just reassign quizzes and tests. You'll be given the alternate version of them, so it won't be quite the same. So it is to your advantage to do to study for these and be prepared, because you won't just get to see the answers and redo. Okay, also new for the 2015-16 school year are study guides that are required. Study guides will be actual lessons to be turned in before working on each quiz or test. Okay, so you'll see the study guides at the course in the course overview. There will be links to those just like in the past. You will download them or print them, fill them out as you do your assignments. Then, right before each quiz or test, there will be a place for you to turn in your completed study guides. An incomplete study guide will be treated as a blank essay, and I will have to keep reassigning it. It's not optional. For the foreign language study guides, there will be part of the study guides that you can't fill out. I have written on the study guides which parts you do need to complete for credit. Okay, an incomplete study guide won't mean not completing the part that you can't complete. There's just study items on there. Okay, you'll see when you get into the study guides, and if you have any questions, let me know, but I have noted on each study guide what you need to fill out and hand in. All right, how to study a language. When learning a new language, we all have the tendency to want to translate things word for word. You can do that when learning new vocabulary words, but sentences and phrases are entirely different. When reading and listening and trying to understand conversations in French, I want you to focus on the overall sense of what is being said. Okay, don't worry about translating every little word if you can understand what is being said. When phrases are translated word by word, they tend to sound strange and they might not even make very much sense. So as a side note, this is also how I'll know if you used an online translator to write what you want to say in French. It looks and sounds totally absurd when you know how to read French, trust me. I'll also know that you do not yet have that level of vocabulary. So in other words, sometimes when you type things into a translator, it translates each word individually, which isn't good when you're trying to write a sentence or phrase, because it doesn't know the context that you're talking about. Context is big in English and in French. So keep that in mind if you decide to use an online translator to look up words. Everything you need to know to complete work, written work, will be in your assignments, I promise you. Okay, the best way to complete an assignment to be written in French is to use what you already know. And then copy, yes, copy the examples given in the assignments, but put in the information you need to provide. Most assignments have an example for you. Okay, you use the general setup that they've used, but put in the information they're asking you for. So another good thing to do is to read the rubric for a written assignment if one isn't included. A grading rubric will let you know exactly what is required and will allow you to be successful the first time. The last thing I would recommend to you is listen to and practice the French vocabulary aloud. It gives your brain another way to remember the material that you've learned. Okay, so in other words, if you are reading something aloud, Your ears hear it and it goes to your brain, and it is another way to remember your vocabulary. So, bonne chance, good luck, and if you have any questions, please contact me. Don't forget to answer the 3 questions at the bottom and submit them for credit. So, au revoir. Goodbye.